Welcome to this week's PGA. This week we got the Puerto Rico Open, so I'm going to go over the PGA cheat sheet a little bit, how to use it, how to load it, how to create your own models, stuff like that, how to look at the trend sheet. So we're going to start at dailyfantasysportsrankings.com. Normally you're going to find my picks right on the main page here, but with other sports, when they get busy, it kind of gets pushed down a little bit because I get it out early in the week. So you can just go to others and you can find hockey, PGA, NASCAR there. So we'll open up my PGA article for the week, kind of go over the course as well as some of my favorite picks and some of the stats that I'm using from the cheat sheet. But we'll concentrate on the cheat sheet today. So by clicking on the link itself, there's the trend sheet. What we're going to do is we're just going to open up the cheat sheet. So it's going to open up a new link on a new tab. It's going to open up the cheat sheet. It kind of takes a while. It's loading a lot of stats, data analysis and stuff like that. So just be patient. It takes about 30 seconds to a minute and it will open for you. As you can see, once it's open, you can see other people are on the sheet there at the top. So this is a view only mode. You can't sort anything, so what you're going to want to do right away is, if you want to make your own models and sort any of the columns, is to go up and create your own copy of this. To do this, you hit File, make a copy. You can name it whatever you want there. You can just leave it as copy of DFS, PGA cheat sheet, Puerto Rico Open. So then you're going to click OK. It's going to open in a new tab. Again, I'm not going to do it because I've already opened it here just to save a little bit of time. So from here you can still go up and you can name it up at the top again. If you're using it for 2 or 3 days leading up to the tournament. So now you can get in, you can actually sort the columns. So there's a few ways you can do it. You can go up to data, click on whatever column you want, go up to data. Z to A is going to be largest to smallest, A to Z is smallest to largest. So keep that in mind when you're sorting your column, what you're trying to sort. So for DraftKings salary, we're going to go Z to A, sort to the highest to lowest for the week. You can also click on the little arrow on the column itself, and then you'll see that sort A to Z, Z to A there as well. You can also use right click on a column to change it as well. So sliding over course history, you see the last 5 years at this course, how a player did. If you want to sort by their average, so you can click on the column, go A to Z, and you can see the players that have done the best here over the last 5 years. One thing to pay attention to is players with just 1 year of experience here are going to rank high versus players with 4 or 5 years experience. So keep that in mind when you're looking at course history. So you can do the same with current form. Sort at A to Z will get you the best current form for the last 5 tournaments of that player. One thing you're going to notice, I haven't loaded the European Tour guys yet and their form on the European Tour. Usually not many, but making this video early in the week, so I wanted to get it out to you guys. So I will have that updated. If you've downloaded the sheet, you'll see it update live. Back to the stats. These stats here are raw stats. So for driving distance, you're going to see yards. For good drive percentage, you're going to see it's going to be a percentage. Greens in regulation, a percentage as well. Scoring averages, their actual scoring averages. And then what I do is I will take and I will rank those so that we can actually build models around it. So these are the rankings in the field of where those players rank. And anyone that you see with like a 100, or where there's a lot of, some weeks it'll be 150, those are players that didn't have stat rankings. And I just have to give them a number so that we can build models around it. So these numbers at the top, these are your weights every week. So these are the stats that I'm going to be looking at. So you can change these now that you've opened your own. You can change the numbers around. I try and keep it to a total of 100 when I'm trying to do this, just so that I don't try and include too many stats. So as you can see this week, I'm looking at birdie or better percentage, bogey avoidance, the strokes gained, approach plus off the tee. So once you change those, it changes the weight and the rank of the stat rank as you change those around. So then beside that, I've got history rank and form rank, and you can change those as well. So if you want, that shows your overall rank on the end. So if you want to rely a little bit more on form, bump that number, but then same thing, I want to keep it within 100. So as you bump that number, you're going to want to lower something else. So take some weight off stats. So you can kind of play around with that and make your own model. Also shows your overall weight way over on the left so that you can see it as well. As those columns are all locked, so you can scroll to the right, you'll see all these columns. I've got FanDuel pricing in there as well. And like I said before, as you change these, it's going to change your overall weighted rank way over there on the left as well as on the right. Another feature here on the sheet, I've got a bunch of tabs on the bottom. The first one's course, so it kind of shows you the name of the course, each hole, par 4s, 5s, distances, and then notes. I'm going to have more notes going forward. We've also got 2016, 2015, 2014 results, and then these are their stats, ranks as of the end of that season, and then correlations to how how that player ranked towards the others in the field. So par 4 or 5 scoring, as you can see, are highly correlated. Same for 2015 and 2014. And I'd like to look at the last 3 years for correlated stats for that, because there is a lot of moving parts, a lot of changes, a lot of players coming in and going out, as well as course changes. So for 2013 and 2012, I just have their place, so that kind of fits into the current form model on the main cheat sheet. To also have player stats from last year's tournament. So this is like their driving distance for the week and their rank, and then kind of correlation. It's more to look at it whether driving accuracy or distance played more of a factor at greens and regulation, because birdies and bogeys are always going to be highly correlated to the guys at the top of the leaderboard each week. And I do this for the last 3 years as well. So 2015 is here, 2014 next. And then the next tab is your 2016, the last 3 years tournament scoring stats. So it's looking at it by a hole by hole basis. Each hole at the course, how it played to par, how many birdies, how many pars, how many bogeys on each hole. So what I look at is the par 3, 4s, and 5s birdies. Kind of look at what percentage of the total birdies for that season were there. So as you can see, this year only 2015 and 14, because I couldn't grab the data for 2016. 2015 was a really windy year. In 2014 it was a -21 winning score, so it's a really nice mix there. That far right column shows how they played a par, and then this is just your world golf ranking if you actually want to come in here and have a look at I'm just pulling it from the World Golf Ranking website. So you can see all the data that the World Golf Ranking guys use as well. And the other sheet I provide is the trend sheet. So the first thing you're going to see is the salaries for this week, as well as the season average for each player. And the first thing you notice is, because of the small field, weaker field this week, not smaller field, sorry, it's the weaker field this week, you're going to see a lot of guys at the top are $2,000-$3,000 more than their season average or what they were last week. Next tab is GPP ownership, so you can look at week by week. You can sort these columns as well, and you can look at week by week ownership per tournament, as well as that player's season average, kind of get you a gauge of a little bit of ownership data as well. And in the future, I'm going to be sorting this data into field strength as well, so that we can kind of analyze how guys do in weak fields versus strong fields and that kind of stuff. So we got DK point trends here. So this is a week by week look at DraftKings points for each player. So there's Arnold Palmer's tournament last week. You can also sort these columns as well. It's kind of a week by week look, or you can see their season average and their rank as well. So to kind of have a look here, we're going to sort A to Z on season rank and look at the best performers since the Tournament of Champions. Jordan Spieth right at the top there. So then you can see how many weeks each player's played, and gives you a really good feel of the most consistent guys versus kind of maybe some boom or bust potential guys for GPPs. like I said, in the future I'm going to have this broken down into strong field and weak field as well, so we can analyze that data. So kind of using the two in conjunction with each other can kind of get you on track to using the other tabs, looking at the correlation results, to making your own model, and deciding what stats are most important to you each week. Or if you just make your own just to see, just to be able to sort your own columns and keep my model, that's fine too. Either way, it can help you make better lineups each week. So if you have any questions, you can hit me up on Twitter, Jagerbombs_9, or leave a comment below.